Raise your hand if you were in both of those. Okay, about half of you. We're going to kind of double down on it today because I think it's just that important. So for those of you that already learned it, like we're going to do our best to cement this. And then for those of you that weren't there, you should do whatever you can to either go watch recordings of Daily Growth every day. You know, whenever you can, carve out half hour. You only need 15 minutes, you put it on 2x, by the way, and you could definitely handle 2x. Or, you know, if you're able to show up on time during Daily Growth, highly, highly encourage it. It's 9 a.m. every day. So what were we talking about? We were talking about getting appointments. And specifically, we were talking about if anyone has suggested they want to buy or sell in the next year, there's zero reason you shouldn't have already met with them. And Brent mentioned this morning in Daily Growth, like, why a year? You know, there's a top agent in our town here who will meet with anyone who says they want to sell anytime, you know, in the next 5 years, right? Like, she'll meet with anyone because she's wanting to establish that relationship and really solidify it. And then, of course, you go meet with them, you provide a bunch of value, and those people refer you, you know, and a lot of them just end up selling with you right then and there. So we're going to talk about getting the appointment, and we're going to start with buyers. Josie, you made the most contacts of anyone on the team this week. Did you get any appointments last week?
Last week, yeah, 2.
You got 2. The day you were challenged to ask for appointments.
Yes.
Okay. Did you ask for appointments the next day?
Yes.
Okay.
And I got 1.
So did you get 2 appointments or 3 appointments last week?
Well, I asked for 1 last week. I got it this week.
Okay.
I was like, oh, I'll check my calendar and get back to you. And I got this one.
Jesus. This is what do we write with?
I took a picture of it. Okay.
What's up with this? Do we need this?
They made it so pretty, and you're just screwing it up. No, I'm kidding, dude.
Now I'm leaving it.
Now.
Now it looks like shit. So the whiteboard's like a quarter, like 4% erased, just for you guys on Zoom. Yeah. Why do we need this up the whole time? Why do we have a whiteboard if we can't write on it?
Good Lord.
All right. So let's talk buyers. What is the value? And now a lot of people answered this question from the value for you as the agent. But I need you guys to reframe what is the value for the client in meeting with you, even if they're not ready. So I want to hear from you guys. What is the value?
So they are prepared when they're ready.
Okay, so Mark said, so they are prepared when they're ready. Okay, but how do you explain that to me? Don't give me broad, give me like very specific pieces. Like, how is meeting with you today going to make them ready?
Well, most people will tend to wait until they think they're ready, and then they find out there's issues with their credit or somebody stole their credit, and that sets them back even further.
Okay, so you're specifically going down the finance route. He said some people will wait until they're ready, and then they might find out they have some sort of financing issue. And if we start today, it's going to help them because they're not going to have that issue. Okay, what else? Do you?
Oh, I like similar, like they buy it, they don't really know when they are ready or not ready. So sometimes I'll just say, well, let's just sit down and go through things, see what your goals are looking like, what you're wanting to get done, and then more knowledge is power. So the more that I can help provide perspective for you will help you guys make great decisions.
Got it. Do we have another mic? Because we're going. We do have another mic. Here you go. Yeah. Do you want to give that back to T? But so Tanya said, "Hey, let's just sit down and figure out what your goals are, and then we can just determine when that fits into when you're ready." Here's the perspective I want to give you guys. So the client thinks that they know. Would you guys agree? Yes. They're like, "Hey, I'm not ready. I don't want to waste your time." So when we're saying like, "Oh, no, like let's go, we'll meet your goals," like I want you to think about like, okay, what's the thing that I can help them understand that they don't even know that they should understand right now? Do you see what I'm getting at? Like, what's the part that they don't get? Like, for example, going back to what Mark said, Mark's like, well, yeah, and I think when you go in story mode, what did you say about stories, Brent? You said something like humans think in stories. Did you say that recently?
Sure.
It's like, did it sound smart? It sounded better than that. But like when we put things into stories, we can relate so much better. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, Mark, I know you want to wait 6 months because you're not ready today. I had a client just like that. And they actually waited until they were ready. And then we were all excited to go out shopping. And we found out that they had a credit issue. It wasn't their fault at all. but it took us 2 months to get it fixed. So do you think it'd be a benefit if we went ahead and got some of this stuff cleared up today so you don't have to waste time in the future? You guys tracking? So there's a story, and you can borrow that story. It doesn't even have to be your client. Like, hey, our team was dealing with someone. Hey, our brokerage had this client. Doesn't have to be your client. Go ahead, T.
Value to the buyer is becoming a local market expert in the market that they want to be in. I think is a huge value add in there.
So tell me how that benefits me.
So when it comes time and you're ready, you know what's going to be a good deal and what's not going to be a good deal.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we look at Zillow all the time right now, so I think we got a pretty good idea.
Gotcha. And is your Zillow search pretty broad at this point, or is it like?
I mean, we've kind of narrowed it down a little bit. We've kind of
Okay.
got it filled in. I mean, I think we know what we want.
Gotcha. And are you able to determine the outcomes of the things that you do like when they go pending and how much they go for?
What do you mean by that?
Like, say there's a house that comes on the market and it's beautiful and it's the one that you would buy today if you were totally ready.
Sure.
Do you understand or know are you tracking the patterns of the houses that you really, really like? So when you do become pre-qualified and we're ready to put in offers, you'll know what it's going to take to get the dream home.
So I think you're on the right track. What are you trying to tell me? Do I see what they're selling for actually? What do you?
Yeah, kind of that, or like tracking when they're going pending, how quickly.
Like how long they're on the market?
Yeah, how long they're going to be on the market.
Okay,
if they do price reductions.
So how do we shape that into like a question that's like clear and concise? That's the whole point of this today, is I want to take that and make it so pretty and easy to hand out. Anyone got any ideas? Yeah, what do you understand about the market? Hey, you're watching Zillow right now. Like, tell me, what have you learned
seeing?
as you're looking at that? You know, like our homes, would you say you've seen homes that are selling quickly, or are they taking a while? I think some of that. I think the route I would go, which is it's anytime someone says we're already looking, I want to bring them something that they don't have. What don't they have?
Off-market properties.
Okay, now you say it, off-market properties, like,
Hey.
duh. But I really want you to understand, like you have heard it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
They don't know what it is.
No.
So what is off-market properties? Because I want everyone in here to be 100% clear on what are all the different things that could be off-market properties.
Expired and canceled.
Expireds, canceled, FSBOs,
Upcoming listings.
coming soon, office exclusives, new construction that's not on the market.
That's true.
Hello, we happen to have a couple builders we represent right here. And most of that stuff's not on the market, right? And you guys can put the work in and call any builder. You can call CBH or Toll Brothers or any builder and be like, hey, what do you have that's not on the market yet?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think your clients are doing that?
No.
So do you think you're bringing value?
Yeah.
Okay, but they don't even know you can bring that value. So this is what we got to figure out. How do we articulate the value we bring and why it's so important that they meet with us? Okay, so I guess before we go too much down the rabbit hole and say value, what are the objections? Why are buyers not meeting with you today?
They feel like they need to buy immediately if they're buying, like if they meet with you.
So they feel like they're not ready, essentially is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Like maybe, and what would be the problem if they met with you today? In their mind, what's their problem if they meet with you right now? They're wasting your time. Is there any other problems? Maybe they don't want to feel pushed
They don't
or
want to be
rushed.
rushed. Yeah.
They don't want to feel sold. Okay. So I think let me give you an objection handler. Does anyone have the objection handler for, I don't want to waste your time? What do you guys say?
It's never a waste of my time.
Whether you want to buy 1 month or
Okay, Rebecca, tee it up. Go ahead. So Rebecca, I just don't want to waste your time. Thank you so much. You know, when we're ready, we'll call you. You're our agent.
No, thank you for saying that. And I want you to know it's never a waste of my time. I plan on being in business for a long time. And whenever you're ready, whether it's a month or 6 months or 12 months, by us getting together, it'll make you even more ready. And does that sound good?
Yes, sounds great. Another thing I love to say is it's never too early to get your questions answered. That's like one of my favorite sayings. Kara, look, it's never too early to get your questions answered. So why don't we just go ahead and meet? Right? Okay. What are the other objections for not meeting with you today? So they don't want to waste your time. What was the other one we just said?
I think they don't want to feel like they're going to get sold. Like the only reason you're meeting with them now is because you want to talk to them into buying a house right now.
Okay. So they feel like they're going to get sold. So how do you take that pressure off? Rebecca's response takes that pressure off. Mm-hmm. Hey, look, Brent, I don't care if you're buying next month, next year, or 10 years from now. Like, I want to be your resource. So when we go ahead and meet, like, we're going to find out what timing makes sense for you. And then I go into the same 3 things every time. And I go into those 3 things because I think they handle the majority of the objections, by the way. So when I close for the appointment, for the buyer consultation, the 3 things I go into are, we're going to answer all the questions you have, even the ones you don't know to ask. Now, why do I say that? Because I don't have any questions, Chase. So if I'm like, hey, I'm going to answer all your questions, Hannah, she's like, cool, I don't have any, so let's not meet. So if I add the piece that says, even the ones you don't know to ask, she's like, fudge, what do I not know to ask? Right? What don't I know to ask? The second one, okay, we're going to set up a custom search. So I know exactly what you are looking for, and we're going to see everything that meets the criteria on the market and off the market. Are you familiar with the off-market properties? No, what's that? Oh, we'll go over it when we meet. You guys tracking? Now, we already explained what the off-market properties are in here. There's tons of off-market property solutions. Okay, then the third one is we're going to make sure that we're a good fit to work with one another. So those 3 things I go in for the close on every time. Now, that's literally exactly what I say. The way that I said it to you. Now, you don't have to say it exactly the way I said it. You should figure out the key points and make it your own. Okay, what are you guys hearing right now?
I actually love that last question because then they're going to be like, wait, we might not be a good fit to work together. So it's almost like, you're playing hard to get.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like it takes the tension off of, like, if we're not a good fit, then we don't have to work together,
I was talking more like playing hard to get, but what T said.
You want to give it to Francesca? I agree with you, by the way. And I've had people that are like, because another talk track or script that I've used before is like, hey, look, we have thousands of customers, but we only choose to work with a handful of clients. So when we get together, we'll see what makes the most sense for you. And then when we get together, we go sit down. They're like, so can we be a client? I've had people say that, and I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll do it. So, I'll squeeze you in there.
I just love to say I like to be a resource, even if it comes whether it comes to buying or selling real estate. Like, I just want to be a resource for you, and that a lot of the time, like, I want to help somebody regardless. So even if I'm helping them, steering them in a different direction, like, I still want to help the person.
Yeah.
So that's also something that kind of takes the pressure off.
Yeah, I think anything you can do to take the pressure off. Yeah, and even when I say when we're going to get together, I'm like, hey, Brent, do you have 10 or 15 minutes? Even though most of them take 30 minutes, but I just want to make it simple. And now if they're asking me questions and it makes it take 30 minutes, that's fine. I'm like, it's their time. But I'm not going to be stressing them out of like, hey, do you have 4 hours that we can meet for a consult? Like, that's going to really stress out someone and overwhelm them, right? So, okay. Any other thoughts or ahas on the buyer side? So I'm reminded real quick, we'll go into the sellers in just 30 seconds or so, but is anyone decent at golf, like pretty good at golf? Rather hand raise, or like basketball, shooting baskets or whatever, or anything that requires skill. Okay, there's hands. There we go. Holy cow. Okay, so let me ask you this. Like, when you first started, think of the thing, okay? Whether it's like working out or, if it's shooting basketball, playing golf or something like that, video games, whatever. Think of the first time you did it. How good were you? Terrible, horrible, not good.
I was really good.
I was really good. Brent was really good. Everyone else was working on it. Yeah. So think about that. Like, what caused you to get better? Repetition, practice, right? And let me ask you this: when you come into this world and you just hear what we talked about on the buyer side, and we hear the way that you can speak to your clients and the tonality and the voice inflection and all that, do you feel like you're going to be as good or better than Brent on day one? No. Day two? Year two? Year three? Like, guys, it takes practice and time and effort. So when you guys I see some of you taking notes, some of you writing things down, taking pictures, like, what are you going to do with this? Like, how do you actually go practice it? That GPT, the sales assistant, I mean, I would be saying, hey, this talk track, I want you to practice this with me over and over and over again. Go ahead, Brent.
Here's what comes to mind as you're saying this, because it's just like completely blowing my mind. Like, we asked a big group of agents here, right, who are out talking to people, what would you say to buyers to convert them? And we didn't get a really clear and concise answer. We got a couple really good answers, but I don't think anybody like spoke up and said, this is exactly what I say. Right. And you guys, like, T has something that is exactly what she says. And I know Rebecca does. And I know people have it. But the point is the difference between the person that makes 6 to 7 figures and the person that doesn't is the person that makes 6 to 7 figures knows exactly what they're going to say in the moment. That's really the difference. And so ask yourself, like, have you actually slowed down to think about what is exactly what I'm going to say in that moment? And then once you figure it out, like, Chase, do you say anything different than this? Like, is it 9 out of 10 times when you're talking to a buyer and you're closing for the appointment, is this pretty much what you do?
Yes.
Why change it, right? And then the cool thing is if he's saying the same thing and it stops working, now he can be like, I wonder if it's because I'm saying this, and I'll just change this out, and he'll work on that. And then it's like, oh, it's converting again, right? But if you're not saying the same thing and you don't know exactly what you're saying, then you're kind of like just throwing darts against the wall, blindfolded backwards, and hoping that you hit a bullseye.
Or you're just talking to people.
And
you're never moving the sale forward, right? That's where most of our newer agents are. And when I say newer, I'm talking like less than 3 years. Okay, so if you're a year in or 2 years in, I'm still talking to you. Most of our newer agents are just having conversations. And sometimes they have so many conversations, the person's like, can you sell me a fucking house? Like, let's go. Right? And they're like, yeah, we can meet. Has anyone ever had that happen? Be honest. I have.
Chase would be amazing if he just learned when to shut up.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, no joke. I mean, and this is the 5.5 years I started in new construction. All I worked was buyers. So I was really, really, really bad. And I guess I just failed forward to getting really, really, really good eventually. But it was rep and rep and rep and rep and rep. So I am going to go back to golf for a second. And even if you don't understand golf, here's something you probably could be aware of. You guys could hit a golf ball, maybe not every golf shot, but you guys could hit some golf shots as good as pros. Isn't that crazy? Like Tiger Woods in his prime hits a 50-yard golf shot like onto the green. Any of you could do that once or twice. The same shot. Maybe not the 350-yard drive. Like, that is going to take some stuff. But, like, why is he Tiger Woods and why are we here? Yeah, it's because he knows when to pull out the right tool. And he knows exactly how far it's going to hit. And he knows exactly what to do when the wind's doing whatever and the humidity and all the crap. Right? But that is time and time and time and time and time again. That's reps. And I'm telling you guys, like, especially you guys everyone, raise your hand if you've been in this business for full time for more than 5 years. Okay, look around. Keep your hands up. Look around. Now, all of you guys that have been in it more than 5 years, like, do you feel like the fog has lifted a little bit on this business? Okay. There's still fog, but less. It's like a partial inversion.
They know how to operate in the fog, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then when it's foggy, you still go forward, right? I'm just telling you, it's right around that 3 or 4 year mark that you start to understand that certain things work a certain way. So, okay, let's go over to sellers real quick. So, same exercise. Why would someone who's a seller, like, what's in it for them? Not you. I know what's in it for you. What's in it for them? Why should they meet with you today if they're 6 months, 12 months, 5 years out?
Financial gain.
How, okay. I heard potential financial gain. Do you want to give her the mic real quick? How does it potentially help them gain more money? How?
If we're able to direct them towards making fixes that would be better seen in the consumer's eyes, or not, yeah. If they already have plans to do things, verify that the plans that they have in place are actually going to net them what they're assuming. Not everything is dollar for dollar when it comes to making repairs in your home.
Okay, so think about that. That was like every one of us understood that, but how do you articulate that to a seller?
Yeah.
How do you ask them questions that cause them to tell you, "Oh my gosh, I should meet"?
Yeah. Well, with
Okay, I don't want you to do it right now. I just want you guys to understand that's the game. Okay. Do you want to do it right now? Okay. I was like, I didn't want to put you on the. I didn't want to put you on the spot. I didn't want to put you on the spot.
I'll do it.
So no, I already did. I know you know what to say. I'm just saying, like, think about what she said. She's like, hey, I can save you money because you might waste it on stuff that's not going to help. Or you might need to do things and you don't even know it. And by the time I get out there,
things might not even cost you very much money, but it will net
Correct.
you more.
Correct. So now how do we either put that into a story so that these people know exactly why they should meet with you? Or how do we ask them questions that get them to self-discover exactly why they should meet with you? You feel me? So I'm not asking you to answer that. I'm saying that's the game you're playing. Okay, so there's one example. You guys might need to do stuff or might not need to do stuff. And it's gonna affect the value. What else?
And
What
I like to say, great, with time on our side, that's exactly why. Like, it's a perfect opportunity.
Okay, so she says, hey, this is exactly why we should meet because now we have time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
Sort of to that point is, what if they do need to fix something and a contractor is 30 or 60 days booked out? And so it gives you time to make sure you can be ready to list when you want.
Totally.
Yeah. Hey, what do you know about how busy contractors are today?
That's a good one.
They're like, what do you mean? They're like, well, I mean, believe it or not, some of the best contractors, they're like 6 months out. So why don't we go ahead and meet today and we can see if we need them to do anything. And then that way, if we do, we can schedule them and we won't get raked over the coals on price.
And alleviate your stress.
Yeah. Okay. What are other benefits of meeting today?
Figuring out where they might want to move to. What
Okay.
the plan is.
So how does that help them?
Well, meeting today, we can determine the value of the home so they know what they're sitting on and what they could be potentially walking away with. So then they can make the decision of where they would be going based
Got
off
it.
of that.
Got it. So we can answer financial questions and make sure, we're in alignment on your goals. Okay. Cool. So it'd be good to have a story there, right? Like some sort of story of how you helped someone or how someone maybe had a problem. You either saved them or they had a problem and because they waited too long. What else? Why else would it be beneficial for them to meet with you today? Anyone other than T, because she's got lots of answers. Oh, give me an answer. Come on, share. You got any other reasons?
I mean, I just say let's start from the timeline from start to finish on what it all entails to get your home ready to go to the market, and it doesn't take a week. It takes a lot longer than that.
Got it. What do you mean by that? Like, I'm the seller. So what do you mean? It doesn't take a week. How much time does it take?
Well, it depends on what your home looks like, all the details that you want me to market it, like for exposure. And I mean, normally I would just say there's so many details to go over. We need to meet and talk through all those so we can discuss the plan of action.
So check this out. What if I ask them, hey, is your goal to make the most amount of money when you sell your home?
Yes.
They're going to say yes. right? And then you're like, okay, well, if that's your goal, then we should get together today, right? And I would just say that. Now you could go on and on and on, and I will. I'll tell you what I'd say, but they'll probably be like, well, what? I don't understand, or like, what do you mean? Or they'll say, yeah, sure. They'll say one of those three things. If they say I don't understand, what we're going to do is say, in order for you to get the most amount of money in your home, we need to make sure we put the best product forward. So are you aware of anything you need to do to get your home ready to sell? They'll say yes or no. And if they say, yeah, we need to do this and this and this, you're like, awesome. Do you know exactly how those are going to impact the value? Yes or no. They'll say one of those two things. If they say yes, you're like, okay, great. Is there anything that you might not be aware of? They're like, well, I'm not real sure. And you're like, well, that's what I do when I come out. Is I'm gonna look for anything that you might have missed, and I'm gonna double check the stuff you're doing to make sure you're not spending money on stuff that's not going to impact the value. Would that be helpful? Okay, so there's more. I want to make sure we have time for like some discussion and thoughts here. What are you guys hearing right now? Well, let me give you one more just fast. Get ready for some ahas or thoughts or questions. One more fast thing is I can start marketing your property today. My team talks to hundreds of buyers and sellers each week. So the more I know about your property, the faster I can start to get a list of people who might be interested. You guys tracking? Okay, so that's what I would want to be discussing. I'm looking at Tracy here because every time I talk to her, she's like about to double in a deal. So can you hand the mic to Tracy super fast? Punch Kelsey in the stomach, then hand the mic to Tracy. Brent says because there's only 50 people in Marsing and she knows all of them, or Wilder. So Tracy, like seriously, you connect a lot of buyers to sellers and sellers to buyers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell us just what are your thoughts on this conversation we're having?
Oh, sorry. I feel like I'm searching for the right answer here. Stand by. I think that, I live in a little smaller of an area, but the more you know what's out there, when you hear that, the more you can connect and the more conversations, like that's at the crux of it, right? The more conversations you're having with people. So I do, I will say that to people sometimes, hey, I am familiar with a lot of people in this area or properties in this area. And the better I know what you're looking for, perhaps I might come across that.
Yeah. Well, real quick, I want to point something out. So if you guys have ever read the book Go Giver, there's a connector in there. Mm-hmm. Tracy's a connector. Mm-hmm. I mean, look who's here. She brought in a friend to, connect her friend with us on thank you, IVs. Yeah, but I see her doing that with buyers and sellers all the time. Like I talked to her 2 days ago. She's like, yeah, I'm trying to connect this guy with this farm owner and sell them. But I can't talk about that right now because I need to talk to you about this fourplex that I know the seller and I've got the buyer. That was in the same conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just like a couple days ago.
And and just a little tidbit. What's interesting is the only reason why I knew about that particular fourplex is because I just called them and said, hey, are you thinking about selling? Well, she was unrealistic in her price, back then. And so we kind of just let it go because it wasn't going anywhere. And then fast forward, that was probably 5 months ago. She called me and she goes, yeah, I want you to sell it for me. So what do you think the price should be? Well,
and by the way, the other guy that she was talking about was the cold call as well. It was the one she's like, does anyone know how to get a hold of this guy? And yeah. We ended up connecting.
I think connector is the perfect word, to utilize in those situations because it's just about making the connection based on conversations that you've had.
Well, if you want to be a connector, you've got to know couple things. The number one thing is you got to know the people's goal. Mm-hmm. And you're really good at figuring out what they want, and then you're really good at helping find a way to get them that. So way to go. Okay, what are some thoughts and ahas on the discussion we've had around sellers or just getting appointments all together?
I have them. So to me, like, here's what it boils down to. Obviously, you want to have some, like, I could take this framework right here and I could create one for a buyer and one for a seller. Right. And then what I would do probably is I would take number 3 and I'd either add a number 4 or I would add to number 3 and I would be insert objection here. And so I would say, make sure we're a good fit to work with each other and make sure that we're saving you the most amount of time, or we're saving money by doing this. Like, I would insert their objection. So the bottom line is you're only going to get to that point by asking really good questions, asking questions and staying curious about what it is that's driving or motivating them to say yes or no, and what would drive them to say yes. Typically, it's going to be some kind of a pain point or a desire inside of the transaction. So if you ask really good questions, then you can line this out. It might sound like they say, you know, I don't want to waste your time. Hey, I totally understand how you feel. I've actually had other people that felt the exact same way. Here's what I found. When we get together, I can actually answer the questions that you don't even know to ask, and I can help you invest in your home in places that will improve the value. Then I'll be able to set up a custom neighborhood search. So not only will you be an expert in your home, but you'll be an expert in the neighborhood. So when we go to sell, you'll probably know more about the price than most real estate agents on the market. And then we're going to make sure that we're a good fit to do business. And most of all, we're going to save you time. Can we meet today or tomorrow? Right? So you could just take this framework right here and you could create a response for buyer and seller, memorize it. And in those, I call it a get out of jail free card. In those moments, you're like, I just can't get them to say yes. Just go to this. And then if they still say no, like you did everything you could, my final is, how about this? I'm going to be in the area tomorrow for like 15, 20 minutes. How about I pop by just so I can get eyes on the home? I'll put a face to the name, but I'll also put a home to the online algorithm. I'll actually be able to know what the actual house looks like. So we'll know if the online values are actually right. And if we meet and we're not a good fit, no is a perfectly acceptable answer. Is that okay with you? I've almost had nobody say no to that. They're like, oh, no problem.
So I think that's brilliant. The last part of like, hey, how about I'm in the area. So you're taking the wasting your time off the table because you're like, oh, I'm already there. It's not even wasting my time, even if it's freaking not near you at all, right? I'm going to be in the area for something. But here's something I think here's the quiet part out loud, okay? Get objections. Okay, that was the throwaway comment at the end of, I think, Thursday's DG was like the killers in the room are seeking objections out constantly because they know that they can't move the deal forward without overcoming objections. The new agent is like, I don't want to ask that because I'm afraid they're going to say no. And then you never move the sale forward because they have an objection and you're not overcoming it. So the sooner you can find out what the objection is, the sooner you can help them overcome it, which is the sooner they can achieve their goal in buying or selling a home.
By the way, the longer you wait to overcome it, the sooner someone else will overcome it.
Yes. And then that's why you blame real estate's a cutthroat game and like someone stole my deal. No, that didn't happen. You just didn't ask questions because you were afraid. So seek objections out, ask for appointments. Okay. Ask. That's the number one thing. Ask. So, okay, let's get some gratitude. Ty, are you still out there? I want to hear gratitude from you. Then let's do Aaron and Hannah. So, Ty, are you there? If you are, go first, please.
Yeah, I'm here. I am grateful for mother-in-laws because my daughter is sick today and I have a signing and she's going to run over here and give me a chance to be with my first-time buyers on their first house. And I think I'm going to cry because it's been a journey and I'm just so happy for them.
Yay.
So I'm grateful.
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay, I am grateful for my dad. It's his birthday today. He's a really amazing guy, and I'm just lucky to have him as my dad. So.
I'm grateful because Middleton used to have one gym that fit like max 20 people, and we finally had a new one open up, and it's been amazing. So grateful for that.
Sweet. All right. Have an amazing week, guys. Thank you.